Hey everyone, hope all is well. Welcome to today's video. So today I'm going to talk about what ISB, the Indian School of Business, looks for while it's evaluating its MBA applicants. And it doesn't matter if you apply through YLP as a college student or if you apply as a working professional with less than 2 years of experience with the early entry option route, or if you apply as a normal PGP applicant with ISB with more than 2 years of experience at the time of application. The broad parameters that the school will test you on or will evaluate you on before calling you for an interview remain identical. So, before I get started, just a small request. It's a growing channel, and your love and support has really helped us a lot till now. And if you have liked our content with respect to B school preparation, ISB admissions, CV making, and consulting careers, would request to subscribe and hit the like button. Your support would really mean a lot. Awesome. Let's get started. So, when I had started my video content journey on YouTube, I had recorded a video broadly 1 year back on decoding the ISB admissions process. But since then, there have been a lot of noteworthy changes in the application in terms of the essays, in terms of evaluation, in terms of the format itself with respect to GMAT and GRE. So I decided to record this new video and really talk about what factors you need to focus on when you're applying for ISB, be it in the upcoming admission cycle or be it in the future as well. So when it comes to how ISB evaluates your profile when you're applying for an MBA or a PGP with them, the first factor which really comes to my mind is the essays, which is how coherent, how well crafted are your essays. The school, when it's evaluating the EO and the PGP applicants, which is working professionals essentially, who have full-time experience when they're applying with the school, doesn't matter how much your work ex is. The school evaluates you in terms of essays basis 3 essay prompts. Now these essay prompts are largely around, giving an honest portrayal of yourself, talking about your strengths and weaknesses, talking about who or what has shaped your journey till now, and also talking about a situation of success in your life and a situation of failure, and your customary goals essay, which is, what do you want to do professionally in the short term and long term, and how will ISB aid you in that process. So these are the broad 3 essay themes. But I believe essay in itself and the essay prompts and how do you answer them really matter. Because firstly, I think the school has intentionally changed the essays. The essays were very different back in 2022. The essays were changed in the first round of deadlines in 2023. Now I think essays are a great level playing field because somebody who doesn't have a very good GMAT score or a GRE score or very good academics or profile or impact created at work can really compensate for that in terms of how introspective their essays are and how well written their essays are. By well written, I don't mean that you want to use very flowery English and words that nobody knows the meaning of. When I say well written, it means it should be a story, a narrative. Somebody would like to read your second paragraph after reading your first paragraph in the essay. That's what I mean by well written. But I think essays require a fair amount of introspection. Now, I've told the essay topics to you. So, basis the essay topics, you can see that, if I don't introspect, if I don't look inwards, I'll not be able to write a good essay. Because when the essay topic is give us an honest portrayal of yourself, it means that the school is really asking you to look within and think about who or what has shaped your journey till now. Whether it's a parent or a peer or a sibling or somebody in school or an institution itself or a productive pastime or a hobby or what you took up in terms of a club or an activity in college, whatever it is, you really have to flesh that out really well in those 400 words. So ISB essays typically have a word limit of 400 words for the first 2 essays and 250 words for the goals essay. But I believe essay prompts and how you answer them is really important. Now, different websites attach different numbers in terms of, how important that metric is for the school. Somebody would say that, the school gives you a weighted score, and 30% weightage is given to essays, 30% to GMAT, and the remaining 40% to profile. And whatever the score is, if it's breaching or surpassing a minimum score that the school has set, then you will get an interview call. Now this is the exact process that the school follows, right? Which is, there is a minimum threshold score that they have before they call you for an interview. And if all these components, which is essays, GMAT, profile, academics, extracurriculars, workex, if the scores that you attain in each one of them, if all of them add up to a score which is greater than the threshold score, then you get an interview call. But nobody can, tell you with 100% confidence that this much weightage is given to essays. Somebody will say 30%, somebody will say 40%. Now, my point is, I don't care if it's 30% or 40%. Even if it's 30% or 29%, the thing is, it's very important, right? So you can't take your essays for granted. You can't say that, Sarthak, I'll take out 1 month at the end of the application deadline, 1 month before September, I'll write my essays and get done with it. If you're only giving 4 weeks to your essays, then you're under the pressure to write whatever comes to your mind first in terms of a life story or a work episode. Don't put that pressure on yourself. Start with your essays at least 2 months before the application's deadline. That's my thought process, because trust me, people tend to overestimate their time management abilities. Even when they're signing up with us or doing a profile evaluation, they think that, okay, Sarthak, I'm a working professional. I'll do GMAT prep as well on the weekdays. I'll write my essays as well on the weekdays, and I'll be done with it. But that mostly in 99% of the cases is not true, because either your GMAT gets screwed up because you're a working professional at the end of the day, or your essays are not complete, right? So give yourself ample time, get started early in the admissions process. But this is the first factor, which is essays. 3 essay prompts, very important, very introspective. We really need to think a lot and then write. And the second prompt, which is equally important in your whole application process, is obviously your GMAT or GRE score. I took coaching for the GMAT, to be very honest with you. I could not ace the exam on my own. I did 2 attempts of the GMAT. It took me 2 months to prepare for the first attempt and 1 month more to prepare for the second attempt and take coaching and get a decent score. Now, when it comes to averages, in terms of the legacy or the older GMAT version, ISB average was broadly 710 and the GRE average was 327. But now, since all of us know that you have a newer, latest Focus Edition version of GMAT available, in that test, in that format, even if you get a 640 plus, that accounts to be a 700 plus in the older edition. So a 640 plus is a good enough score. But I can't tell you that, if you get a 640, then you will 100% get a shortlist. It's a function of how well written your essays are, your previous academics, your extracurriculars, your workex. But 640 plus theoretically is a decent score to get. Now, that's about your GMAT and GRE. My suggestion is to prepare for either of these exams for at least 75 days. You're a working professional, so you will not be able to take out more than a couple of hours in a day to prepare. So I used to, take out 1 hour in the morning, 1 hour post office when I used to prepare. And I took broadly 2.5 months to prepare and give the exam. And still I took another attempt to get my target score, right? So a lot of times it's okay to solve questions and get that percentile in a mock score sitting at home. But it's very difficult to sit in an exam center in that exam environment and get that score. So give yourself the leeway, the time span to have at least 2 attempts at the exam. That's GMAT, and third is profile. Now profile is a function of your academics, which is your 10th score, your college score, where you went to college. It's a function of your work experience, which is the impact you have created at work. It's not a function of I'm working with a McKinsey or a Bain or a BCG or a Tata Motors, so I'm working with a good brand, so that will take care of everything. ISB does not care if you have worked with a startup or a family business or a big 4 or a big 3. What matters more is the impact you have created at work, the kind of projects you have led, the kind of teams you have led, the kind of appraisals, promotions, appreciation awards you have won, irrespective of the scale or the reputation of the company, right? And the last one is extracurriculars, which is, have you taken part in volunteering or debating or placement committee? Have you been good at swimming or pottery, or have you taken out time from work to do something productive over the weekends? So, like I was talking about percentages earlier, I think the combined weightage in terms of evaluation for GMAT plus essays is 70%. That's my experience. Nobody can, verify this. Some people say 40% goes to essays, some people say 30% goes to GMAT, whatever it is. I don't care even if it's 45, 25, 35, 35. The point I'm trying to make is essays and GMAT are very important. So people tend to overestimate their profile that, I have a shitty academic background or I have a subpar work experience, so I should not apply. That's wrong, because technically 70% of what will decide if you get an interview call or not from ISB is still in your hands, which is how well you write your 3 essays and how well or how good a score you get in the GMAT or GRE, right? So that's what I wanted to talk about in the video. So please don't, self-reject yourself and say that, I did my UPSC prep for 3 years, or I had a gap year after my class 12th, so ISB will not accept me. Trust me, I'm saying this on good authority as an alum of a school, as an alum of the school and a very proud alum of the school, that the school is very holistic in its evaluation. They don't care or they don't reject you directly if you have had a gap year or a 70% in class 12th, or no appreciation at work. They look at your profile from each and every component, give you a score for each and every component, be it essays, be it GMAT or GRE, be it academics, be it quality of work X and extracurriculars, and then decide if they want you to have an interview call or not. So even if you think you've had a very poor or an okayish profile till now, 70% of what decides your candidature score or evaluation score is still in your hands, right? So please don't reject yourself. We have had tons of mentees over the last 4 years who have had a gap year, who have had a UPSC break, who have worked in a family business, who have had a 777 GPA in 10th, 12th and college, who have not had any volunteering or debating or any, fancy extracurriculars, but still they got an interview call because they worked extra hard on their GMAT, GRE and the essays, and now they are proud alums of the school, right? But I hope this video was helpful and you can reach out to me for any doubts. Thank you.